everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the StabCast 4th of July Spectacular. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Dizzle.
And I'm Mindy.
And we're here on another spooky Sunday, or this might come out on Saturday. We'll see.
Yeah.
But we are here to talk about I Know What You Did Last Summer that also takes place in 4th of July. And this is not the first one. This is not with Ryan Philippe, with Barry. I can't say anybody else because they're all in this movie. But it's not the one with him. And but this is the 2025 reboot, so to speak.
Yeah, reboot, remake. It's kind of in the
It's got to be a reboot because the guy, or even like another sequel because Julie and fucking Ray and all those people are in this.
Yeah.
Completely acknowledges the events of the first movie. So, first thoughts. This is a complete spoiler review, everybody, by the way. So if you have not seen it yet, go see it.
It is on Netflix. Go check it out.
But if you've seen it and you just want to hear other people's opinions on it, this is the place to be.
Yes.
Or if you don't give a fuck about spoilers and you just want to hear the real shit, that's the place to be.
Yeah.
I like this movie. I do not love it. I do not think it's a great movie. I think it's a serviceable film that does what it needs to do. I think it's a little too much. I think there's a lot going on. I think when you try to blend in, I do feel like the character of Julie and Ray with Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. is a bit shoehorned in.
Mm-hmm. I
like the Sarah Michelle Gellar cameo, but those two, I do feel like were kind of just, they wanted that radio silence Scream 5.
Yeah, they're pumping way too much nostalgia.
Yeah, they wanted to have the young cast, but also the heavy hitters back. Yeah. That's what they wanted. They were
even repeating major lines, too. Like, what are you waiting for? And stuff like that.
Which I thought was a bit of a shame. Because Scream 5's cast, I don't even think compares to... I like this young cast. Mm-hmm. I like Teddy. I like Ava. I like Danica. I like the other dude who's supposed to be like Ray. What was his name? Oliver?
No, Milo.
I like Milo. I like the whole team. I like Stevie. I liked everybody. That cast, and if they just did that movie, I think this gets a couple points higher for me.
Mm-hmm. I
really do. Because I think they all acted their asses off. The initial scene of what does it, of how... they kill a dude and then so they're coming back. Because that's the whole thing of I Know What You Did Last Summer. And it was first written as a book. Yeah. Which it was these group of kids run over somebody or do something like that. And then that person, comes after them after. They're still alive or it's somebody's relative. But it depends on what the story is. But, that comes back to get them. And then they made the slasher movie written by Kevin Williamson. This is not, by the way.
No. No, because he was too busy with Scream 7.
Yeah. So, but that's the story of I Know What You Did Last Summer. And now that guy's going to come back, or somebody, related to that guy is going to come back, and they're going to get you for what you did last summer. And they're going to write you notes, and you're going to open them, and it's going to say, I know what you did last summer. And you're going to be like, ah! And that's the whole basis of these movies. Yeah. And this one did it very good. With that young cast, I thought getting Ray in there and getting Julie in there, it's like, why are they fucking here? Because I don't find them. I love I Know What You Did Last Summer. I know one time I got in the car with you and I'm like, I Know What You Did Last Summer is better than Scream. I lied. That is never going to be the truth. Scream 1 will always be better than I Know What You Did Last Summer. Scream 2 will always be better than I Know What You Did Last Summer. It does shit on 3 because everything shits on 3. But I don't. It's a good movie, and it's always been a great movie, and it's a fun slasher. It's another Kevin Williamson good slasher, but it's not what Scream was, and it's not like this iconic thing. It's a good, and I felt like in this one they were really trying to treat the nostalgia and stuff like it was iconic, and they both were good, and I like those characters. I like Ray, I like Julie, but seeing them come back and be like they're back, it was a little like. It worked for Scream. It doesn't necessarily work for this. I think you just needed a straight reboot with a cast like this, and it works. Because everything with the young cast, to me,
I feel like they could have even done Julie's part like over the phone.
Yeah.
And it still would have done it justice. Because honestly, all they needed was information. Because and that's why they looked into the podcaster. Because Teddy, their one friend, aka the stand-in for Barry, pretty much, his father had the whole entire town like whipped around his finger and everything. So whenever something bad would happen, like the 97 massacre, he would get it swiped from the internet and the libraries and everything else. So you couldn't find any information on it. So I do feel Julie was needed just a tad for the information, but I don't think that she had to be peppered in through the entire movie.
Yeah, because she was kind of like a hero at the end.
Yeah.
Like she just shows, she's like in the movie for a total of 15 minutes. But when it happens, it's just, and it just kind of takes away from what's going on. It's like, oh, it's Julie now. And it's like, oh, it's like this final scene. Oh, Julie's coming. It's like, oh, cool. Like, it's just, I don't know. She didn't necessarily, and I love Jennifer Love Hewitt. I think she's gorgeous.
But like they have a thing when like Ray goes to her house to confront her about helping the kids too and shit. That doesn't need to happen.
No.
Like he even's like, oh, I'm sorry, I was worried about you. And she's like, cut the bullshit, Ray. You're not worried about me. Why are you here?
Yeah.
And then he is like, why would you tell Ava to go off and do something stupid like that? And she's like, oh, here we go.
And
here's the real reason.
That's the other thing too. If you're gonna shoehorn them, neither of those characters. We'll get into Ray a lot more towards the end, but they did not feel like the characters from the first two. Either of them. They both felt like completely different. Like Scream 5, Sydney comes back. She feels like Sydney. Gail feels like Gail. She's still super annoying and trying to get the scoop. Dewey feels old and withered, but it feels earned and deserved. Whereas Ray looking old and withered, it's like, dude, you were attacked on a boat a couple times. You haven't gone through that much yet. Like you're gonna be okay, and you live through both of them. Like to me, it didn't feel like, and even with them at the end, you know, when a character says they're always trying to kill that girl, they're trying to put that Sydney thing onto Julie that isn't there. Yeah. Where she's not the fucking final girl that's been like went after like 8 times and like still fucking out here fighting. She's involved in one screamer. Thing. Yeah, she's a scream queen. She's more of a scream queen than a final girl.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. And I like that performance from the first one, but she isn't this badass that made it. She did a lot of that running. Sydney did some running too, but she did a lot of fuck boom, boom, boom too. I think Julie had a couple of good hits, but she never.
I mean, I will say Julie's protection around herself and with her house and whatnot was giving heavy Scream 3 vibes.
Yeah.
With what Sydney was doing, like with getting the dog and then the security system and the motion sensor system. So I do feel like they played on Scream 3 with that a little bit, with like how heavily she was prepared.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, why did she need to be that prepared if it didn't happen like over and over and over again?
And also because Sydney's so linked to Ghostface, when Ghostface goes after other kids, but it's Ghostface, it makes sense for Sydney to come back and do something. This one, it felt like the movie really kind of had to go through to make it make sense why Julie was even involved. Because like, oh, she's teaching a class, and then you know the one final girl, because they're from the same town, she goes, and Ava.
Well, no, the only reason why they ended up going there is because they looked up that podcaster stuff. Tyler.
Yeah.
And she had brought her up in the podcast. And then when she met later on with Ava to give her a murder tour around the town, which of course that's the last thing you want to hear. But she goes with her on this little tour and she finds out that Julie was the start of it all. Julie was basically in Danica's footsteps with getting the anonymous note and everything.
Yeah.
So, and I gotta say, Danica is so fucking clueless, but she's so cute And she's just so funny
Mm-hmm.
that it makes up for her cluelessness. Like, because then they're like going over the fact that Julie got an anonymous note, and she's like, oh, "I got an anonymous note,"
Yeah.
and like we know that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Like we already know that. So like she's just very. It's just very comical. I mean, I have no idea why or how she's still alive, but she did end up making it to the end, which was
bullshit.
What she did.
Yeah, but it's bullshit that she did.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she got gutted. Like she legit got gutted from groin to sternum. So there is no reason for her to survive.
Mm-mm.
She was completely just 100% lucky.
And she's one of those that got fucked up throughout the whole movie, but somehow made it.
Yeah.
Like she was always like, I thought she was dead like a half hour into the movie.
And she had those headphones on.
Yeah, I thought she was fucked up a couple times. Like, oh, she's done. And she just kept fucking going. And it's kind of, she's a cool character because of that. But it's also, that character wasn't built to last the whole movie.
No. And that's why it made sense, though, why our suspicions both went to Stevie as quickly as it did.
Yeah.
Because, like, everything changed with the accident and whatnot, and Ava went away for a little bit, and then Stevie all of a sudden became like Danica's right hand woman and whatnot, and like that's just weird.
Yeah,
like if you don't talk to somebody for years, and then all of a sudden you're like hip to hip, like that's
something's going on.
I mean, trauma, yeah, it can bring some people together, but I mean, normally not after you guys have separated for like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
So that was just interesting to me. And they took basically from the trope of like they kill whoever is closest to them. Like the killer is most likely a person in your friend group.
Yeah.
And they took from that trope. But like Daniel here or Dizzle here is saying is that Stevie was a way more fleshed out character than just a pissed off girl. I don't know if you remember this. You might be too young.
Yeah, or even the fisherman.
The first urban legend.
Yeah.
When she was pissed off that she lost her boyfriend. She lost her boyfriend when they were doing the car trick or whatever, when they were turning the headlights off of cars and then turning them back on and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that was an urban legend. So, but I feel like Stevie's story was more heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Than the urban legend story, honestly.
She was a completely fleshed out character.
Yeah.
That I thought was really well done.
Yeah. She had to fuck over from her family, from her father, from herself.
And even though I found it out relatively early, I still had that thing in my head that was like, well, she is so likable. And she's kind of like, I also thought that Ava might die and she's the final girl.
Yeah, it took everything in me, guys, to not spoil it. But I did a really good job. Yeah. I really did. I did a really, really, really good job.
And I got it pretty, I did get it pretty early.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, oh, Stevie's the killer.
Yeah.
But before I came to that, I was like, well, she can't be because she's like really a good character who's like a good person. It wasn't totally obvious. It really wasn't. Yeah. She was like, because she got reunited with the group, the way she was looking out the window at the fireworks that were shining, like she seemed really happy for a second with them. And so that's why it made sense why she would want to be friends with Danica after, to me. Mm-hmm. You know, I didn't find it like, oh, it's got to be her. But at some point, it's like, oh, she doesn't really have as much going on to her as everybody else goes. Like, she hasn't been attacked once, really. So.
Yeah, like, she always happened to be there.
Yeah.
Like, right after they attacked. But she was never there when the attacking was going. Except for, though, in the scene with Ava and Tyler when Ava was in that cage, because Stevie was at the front door. So that meant that Ray had to have been the one inside.
Yeah. That's true.
Because Stevie was trying to get into the front door. and she couldn't because Ray had locked the door.
But she might be one of the more justified killers in the history of horror.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like she lost everything. Her dad was a drug addict, and she met this dude that she really, liked and helped save her from everything.
Yeah.
And they killed him because of Teddy's dumb shit. So I don't blame her for being super upset. And I do blame anybody that goes on a killing spree. Don't do that.
No.
But she was very really she went through a lot of shit. She gave these people a second chance and they fucked over. Fuck them.
And that's actually why she took pity and mercy on Ava, and she told Ray, look, we're gonna leave her alive because out of everyone, she's the only one that thought this is wrong. We need to go down to the beach and see what happened to this kid.
Yeah.
But of course, she lost that battle. But Ava really was innocent. She was as innocent as Julie was in the first one. She was just dragged down by her friends.
Yeah.
And Stevie tried to make that clear. I don't want her to get screwed over or whatnot. We could scare her, but I don't want to kill her. Because, honestly, it makes no sense for us to kill her because she was the only one that was on my side.
Yeah.
So why don't we keep her alive? But then, unfortunately, Ray screwed up and ended up with an injury from Ava. And she ended up seeing it on him and put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, but that was an homage to the boat scene with the fisherman and I will say I liked having a motive and having something else besides, I liked Stevie's story a lot better than just the fisherman from the first one.
Oh, absolutely. Her story was a lot more fleshed out than Ben Willis.
Yeah, I'll take her any day.
Because, his daughter died and then he took revenge a year later.
Yeah.
He waited for a whole year to pass for him to do something.
Yeah.
And then he got hit on the way from doing a crime. And it's when we were younger, we would think about this all the time. It's how would he go about calling the police with that?
Yeah.
Hey, I just got ran over and dumped in the river after I just ran someone over and dumped them in the river.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's true.
But what are you gonna say? Hey, I killed someone and now they're back.
Yeah.
So
it's bullshit.
And they actually, I believe, the one kid that's Barry's substitute, he brings
Teddy.
He brings that up. He's like, what are they gonna do? Call and be like, hey, so I tried going in after these kids because they tried to kill me last summer.
Yeah.
No one's gonna believe that.
Which I love Teddy, but
he was a little obnoxious, but he was really funny.
Yeah, and I thought he played the Barry substitute perfectly because Barry was kind of a dick too. And
he did it better than Barry.
I will say when Ava sat there and she's like, and everyone's like, "Yeah, we won't say anything," and she didn't say anything. I'm like, is he gonna, in my head? I'm like, is he gonna hit her? Is he gonna choke her? Is he gonna do some fucked up shit like Barry did? And no, he was pretty respectful throughout that. He was just like, please don't say anything. And the only thing I didn't like about the beginning scene and the running of somebody or the whole what happened with the car going, it was all Teddy's fault. It was not the rest of the group. So say, I know what you did last summer. It's like, no, you know what Teddy did. I was not a part of that. If I was in the group, I'd be like, I had nothing to do with that. Yeah. I was just hanging out on the side of the road. I was doing nothing. I did not ask my friend to get in the middle of the road, swerve that guy, and have him make him run. No, I had nothing to do with it. That's not me. How the fuck can you blame the other people for that? Whereas in the other one, yeah, Ray's driving, but, Barry's outside the fucking car, fucking going crazy.
He drops his liquor.
Yeah.
And Ray's lap. And
yeah, he's bumping his head. Everybody's, laughing and having fun. That is everybody's fault.
Yeah.
Even though Ray's driving, that is everybody in that car's fault. Whereas this one, it was one dude's fault, really. And the fact that the rest of them got tortured for it. Stevie, I don't even blame her going after fucking. But I like that was the element, and that's why I liked it being someone in the friend group, because Stevie had that guilt of walking away, too. Mm-hmm. She didn't know it was him.
No.
So the fact that she walked away, now she's got it. And then when Ava brings that up on the boat, she's like, she goes even more nuts.
Yeah.
I really like this young cast, and I thought, and I'm not going to harp on because there was some cool shit with Julie, and you already gave away the Ray thing, right?
What were they?
That he's one of the killers.
Yeah.
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 So,
but also they did do a lot. I want to say they kind of did a little too much in the homage genre, like nostalgia department, because even in his bar, they had the piece of one of his boats that he had back in 1997 that was called Billy Blue, and he had that bumper of Billy Blue hanging up in the bar.
Yeah.
And it's like, how many reminders do we need about 1997?
Yeah.
And they had Julie say, "What are you waiting for?" twice, and it's like you only needed to say that once. We all know where that came from.
The nostalgia shit was a little much.
Yeah.
I get what you're trying to do, but Ray, and that's my problem, and that's what I said earlier. These are different characters. Mm-hmm. Ray from 1 and 2 isn't a killer.
No.
He really isn't, and you can't explain to me how he would really become one. And what they tried to, I thought was weak.
Yeah, because they tried to make it, everyone swept it under the rug so real estate prices wouldn't drop and whatnot. And so they basically buried what him and Julie went through, and they ignored it and whatnot. But Julie was even okay, so we know we went through it.
Yeah.
I left. Why can't you leave and get over it?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, unlike you, I deal with it every day. And she's like, I do deal with it every day.
Yeah.
I just refuse to still live here.
And that was kind of, and I will give you and her that, you and the movie that was kind of that is his character of no, I'm going to stay, because that's what he did in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stay, and I'm a fisherman now, and I'm going to deal with the bullshit. But you can't make that stretch to killer for me. They did try to do it in the first one of a red hair and a little bit that it could be him.
Yeah.
But it never really made sense that it would be.
No.
So the fact that, and I kind of on that boat scene when he's about to shoot Stevie, it's so obvious. It's not a surprise at all that he's there. And by much before they try to this is where we're going to tell you, by him being weird and sus to Ava. By the time they're sitting down together at the bar in the boat, that he's one of the killers.
Mm-hmm.
I when he showed up on the boat, and Ava's yeah, they're on the thing. I was oh, Freddy's
because why was he in the speedboat anyway? They didn't fire off a flare. They didn't call him.
Yeah.
They didn't ask for his help. He just ended up on a speedboat.
It was not a surprise.
No. I mean, yeah, people could say, oh, well, he saw their boat stopped. Their boat was in the middle of the ocean when they stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't think maybe he had binoculars. Maybe he was watching. You never know. But I think that him and Stevie had it planned that she was going to go out there with the girls first and then wait for him to catch up and take care of everybody.
I just think the ending could have been a really emotional piece with Stevie and Ava and Danica, and you guys stole everything from me, so I'm going to steal from you and show it in front of you. That could have been such a good ending thing. Mm-hmm. The fact that they kind of traded that away for, let's force these other two in here and pay homage to the first one with the boat scene, or with Julie being on the boat and being sus of the fisherman.
Yeah.
They're trying to play, they traded an emotional thing, and they got that, they ran through the emotional thing, and then here's the nostalgia ending, and this is what you're going to get as the ending. And I just thought it was a little too forced just to get Julie in the ending. She could have still been in the movie. Yeah. But the fact that she had to be there at the end, yes, Ava got the hero moment of with that cool ass fucking gun to get fish, which I'd never even seen before. Spear gun. That's fucking sick. That was dope. The fact that she got him with that, and
one armed, by the way, because her other arm was kind of tucked underneath herself because she'd gotten stabbed.
Yeah.
So I mean, she pulled that shit off.
Yeah. But it's Julie just had to be there to say a speech before he dies. It's that's cool, but I just thought what we had other than that was better.
Yeah, it could have definitely ended on the boat.
It could have with the way she went down, and then you even leave Danica dead because no offense, but then them talking on the beach after and at the hospital. I know it's supposed to be meta and funny, but that's also not what this movie was. The first one did not have that much humor. The humor was really in Barry being a dickhead. That was like the only funny part is he'd be like, fuck you to people. That's the only, it was not a funny movie. Julie was not funny. Like they were not funny. And they were trying.
He choked Julie in the beginning.
It was
he,
a very serious movie.
Threatened her and like shoved her up against the car and put his hands around her neck.
And those two just having girl talk, like the end line was good, which is like, oh, by the way, Stevie's still alive. That was funny.
So what the fuck?
Yeah, but everything else was like, what the fuck are we doing here? End this film. Like it was like that. It was like the calm after the storm, and it's like, all right.
It's like, okay, we're seeing them come out of the hospital. Yeah, it's funny. They haven't eaten in like 3 or 4 days.
And they're fucking eating.
And then it's like, and then they're on the beach, and we have to watch them having like a picnic, talking to each other about how they feel, and it's like, why?
And they need, and we have to do a callback because they asked how they were doing, and they said bad, and then she asked how she was doing, and she said bad. So at the end, and I know that they thought they're like the writers of this, the directors, like, we're really doing something here when they're like, I'm going to ask you how you're doing, and you're going to say better, and then you're going to ask me how I'm doing, and I'm going to say better. And it's like, I'm rolling my fucking eyes at this point. Like, that is so stupid.
Yeah, unfortunately, their screenplay writer was not as adept as Kevin Williamson.
Teenage dialogue's hard to do, man.
Yeah.
Well, young adult dialogue, it's hard to do, and that fucking dude just happens to be the expert at it. Yes, he ruined Scream 7 with a stupid AI plot, but the way the people talk to each other was fucking like how people talk in real life, and that's what he's great at. And there's a few other writers that are great at it too. Mm-hmm. But this one, Teddy and a couple of them felt like, real fleshed out characters that would talk to each other the way they're talking. But there was some moments it's like, oh, this is forced to be funny. Like when her new fiance fucking gets fucked up, who, by the way, his character arc is he's introduced as Teddy's gone crazy and this is her new fiance, which creates an incredible line later when she takes a swing at fucking who's the killer, Stevie. And she says, this is for my fiance, and Stevie says, which one? That was incredible.
Yeah, and that was really funny.
But our character arc on this other fiance is, he's a drunk.
Yeah, that's basically all we get from him. He comes in, gives her a kiss on the cheek during her other bridal shower.
Yeah, it looks charming
and
enough.
Then she gets the I know what you did last summer card. So she's like, hey, why don't you show everyone what you did to the beach house? And she's like, you called it his man cabana.
Yeah.
And he walks out there with everyone, and then she grabs her friends from the group, and then she's like, I cannot believe Teddy would do this to me. And she shows them the card, and then she's like, Wyatt was really good to me when Teddy was being an asshole. He might be a drunk, but he's a really good person. And that was it. That was literally the only thing we got from him.
Yeah, and then he dies, and then she's like, all right, I'm going to go take a bath. I'm scared, and I need.
Well, before he dies.
Yeah, and then he's like, okay. She goes up. He chugs a whole bottle to be like, hey, I'm a drunk, and then he fucking walks out and dies.
Yeah,
and that's but. The line that he says when he dies is the most forced, like, hey, this is like modern stuff. Whereas the killer fucking fucks him up with the spear gun. It's actually my top kill in the movie. But he's getting fucked up. He's crawling on the floor. There's blood everywhere. He's like, dude, you can have whatever you want. You want the code to my crypto wallet? And I'm sitting there like, God damn it, man. You guys avoided the AI. You did everything I wanted you to do. It doesn't feel like you're doing this. And you did it. You had to fucking, this is modern and hip. Let me talk about my crypto wallet. Because that's
I just find it hilarious that bitch she wasn't even in head plugs, guys. Like, it wasn't even in her ears. It was like straight up just headphones. Yeah. And I mean, they looked fancy dancy, so they're probably noise canceling ones. But for all of y'all that have had those, I'm sorry. You can hear if someone is screaming when you have those noise cancellation ones in.
Yeah.
It's not like you've become deaf and you can't hear the outside world. if something's loud enough, you can hear it.
100%.
So the fact that her fiance is downstairs fighting for his life against a spear gun, and she's like, da, 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 I am me, my barriers are safe, and her like headspace with her headphones on and whatnot, and it's like, dude, you would have heard him.
Yeah.
Like, I doubt that you did not hear at least somebody say help or something, or crash or bump or thud.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the headphones really are that good. I don't know. I'm an earbud person more than myself,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't really know.
She was really getting into meditating. That's why when she comes out, I'm feeling better. But I will say that I think they only wrote Ray as the killer so they could explain how they were able to hang up all these bodies and the presentation of it all. Because there's no way Stevie's doing it. It's kind of like when Scream's trying to tell you that little girl, that Amber was able to stab Dewey and lift him up like that. Because you cannot convince me of that. There is no way. Yeah, women can be very strong, and I'm not being sexist, but there's no way that little Stevie was carrying these bodies, putting them on the hooks, fucking lifting them up with no problem. She had to have had a partner. I think that's the only reason they put, because Freddie Prinze is a stocky enough guy, so he could do some lifting. But that it always kills me when they do that in movies. It's like, oh my god, they must be powerful, and then it's like a 120-pound person. And it's like, Jesus. So
yeah, and my favorite kill was Milo, right? Yeah.
Phone charger?
No, not the phone charger. The hooks to the side of the neck.
Teddy's dad.
Teddy's dad, yes. Teddy's dad is literally the worst father on planet Earth.
Yeah, he owns the town.
He owns the town. He's wiping everything clean. He's got Ava and Danica being kidnapped by police. I mean, he's just a douche. And he's sitting inside drinking his old fashioned or whatever. Sorry, Daniel. And his kids outside screaming bloody murder. Well, when he could scream. He got to a point where I'm sure Daniel noticed a little homage to Scream, to the very first Scream, when he's like, ah! Yeah, that was an homage to Drew Barrymore calling out for her mother when she was being chased. But anyways, like, it was really good because like I knew his dad was gonna get it.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was gonna be as brutal as it was.
Yeah.
So, and I can't help it. I like the brutal kills. I mean, I don't like body horror that much because I don't like torture and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with like
a hook going through a neck.
Exactly. Yeah. Or a knife going through the side of the cheek or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, gore doesn't disgust me or anything. I just don't like torture.
Exactly. That's the exact moment I knew Stevie did it, because I was like, either Stevie's the killer or the whole town's in on it. And then once the cops don't know what they're, which we never really got we had so many scenes of that one crooked police chief just looking fucking suspicious, and
Baldy.
Nothing ever comes of it besides like, Teddy's dad runs the town and that dude's obviously corrupt. Which is fine. I guess that didn't need a payoff, but I could have swore like he was going to be in there somehow. But once, Teddy's like dead on the front step, which poor guy calling for his mom and she can't see him in the window. And then he crawls up to the step. His dad's holding him. And then I see the killer walking behind him. I'm like, all right, the town's not in on it. It was Stevie.
Yeah.
And then he gets fucked up. That is a really good kill.
Well, because the killer actually does a really good tactic, because I don't think Barry would have, not Barry.
Teddy.
I don't think Teddy would have ever made it to the front door and been discovered if the killer didn't go to the door and ring the doorbell like 2 or 3 times.
They were letting that happen
to get the dad to come out.
Yeah.
And then the dad came out and he took care of the dad.
100%. And Teddy was obviously fucked by that. Gonna bleed out and die. This movie was smart for giving us a couple side characters like Wyatt, the fiance, and like I compared her to you, and I'm sorry, Mindy, because the podcaster is the only old Tyler who has a lesbian experience with Ava at the airport and then becomes a part of the movie. And she has a couple more scenes than Wyatt, and she's a little more fleshed out as like a horror podcaster. But
Live, laugh, slaughter.
on that aforementioned trip that you brought up when they go to research the house and everything, and she gets fucked up. And it's funny because they're taking, and she actually lives for a while during that scene, and her and Ava are running away. And when they set that trap on Ava, and she has to run, and she's like, "I fucking hate it here." That should have me dying. But she's the only, because this is a pretty girl power movie of like, hey, we're gonna kill all the dudes and the girl, like to the fact where Danica's like, "How the fuck are you still there?" But this is very girl power where they make it through. She's the only female in the movie that gets fucked up and killed.
Yeah, and basically it was like a Helen Shivers homage kill, basically. Because she was like in the same place where Helen and her sister had kicked the bucket. And if you guys have ever watched the first one, you know that they had a freight elevator with a rope.
Yeah.
And in this building, they had the same one. They never got rid of it.
Yeah.
So it was the same thing, except instead of her being in heels, she was in boots, but still.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. It was cool the way that they were able to get like some of the same shots in with like the different characters.
Yeah, and her kill was cool too. The only kill, and I agreed with you when you said it, the phone charger Milo kill wasn't that great because one, how can a phone charger do that? It would break or something.
We just thought you're killing me.
Yeah.
They had a sick phone charger, and that thing broke like after like 2 minutes of tugging.
Yeah. Like, it's just, I guess it could happen, but it was kind of dumb and anticlimactic. And like, he really,
it's like thin.
Besides, he looked and acted just like Ray in the first one. So he did him and fucking Teddy were really good as Ray and Barry.
I don't know what casting did when it came to the girls. I don't know what came over them when it came to the girls, but when it came to the guys casting, they were like, yeah, let's go right out the gate and just get people that look and act exactly like the two other ones.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing we didn't have is a Max.
No, we didn't have a Johnny Galecki this time.
No.
Which I thought that's kind of what they were like setting up Stevie to be for a second at the beginning. But then she becomes like a part of the group.
Okay.
But it kind of seemed like that outsider until they went over and then she was going to ride with them. I was like, oh, is she going to be the Johnny Galecki that like says no and then rides up on them later? But no, that ends up not being a scene. But also, he wasn't that big of a, like, you don't need a Max. I liked him in that movie, but you don't need him. No offense.
He was just a suspect.
No offense to old Leonard, but he's made his money.
Yeah.
I love the way this movie comes together. I love the chemistry between the cast, and also the kills are pretty brutal. And the fisherman just looks cool. It doesn't get no, it's not Michael Jason. It's not even in the Art the Clown category, but like around that Jeepers Creepers, like it's around that like where. The fisherman is kind of an
costume.
Yeah, it's an iconic kind of thing to where the fisherman's kind of scary with the hook and everything. And it feels very old school slasher. So I like the fisherman, and I like when they bust out the hook, and that spear gun is fucking terrifying. So I enjoyed this movie for that. Yes, I do feel like a lot of this nostalgia shit missed. The Sarah Michelle Gellar cameo was the only thing I really liked from the nostalgia portion of it. Whereas when she turned into a skeleton and it was all a dream and everything, and there's blood flowing from her fucking face, like that was pretty cool. But even though at first she was even like, you damn right I'm fucking Helen Shivers. Like Helen wasn't like that. She was the dumb blonde.
She was confident like that.
She was a bit fierce and confident.
She was very confident.
Yeah.
I mean, in the beginning, before they hit anybody, she was like giving Jennifer Love Hewitt like a to-do list to do when she gets to New York. And she's like, and do not forget to make sure you did the deal.
Yeah.
Because all these fancy lawyer ladies, they be going off and they completely forget the hair.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah. So she was kind of like a mix between like
she felt very damsel in distress though too, especially towards the like latter half of the film when they end up killing her off and shit. She another one, scream queen, not final girl. She's like there to die. And I liked her, and her and Barry I thought were a great couple, and I thought were great act. Like that movie is like get the youngest, hottest actors and actresses and just put them in a movie. And that scene where Julie's screaming, "Fucking, what do you want? What is it?
What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?" For some reason, both of those girls are like, "Let's make our boobs look fabulous for this scene." Like they just put on the craziest shirts to where it's like, Jesus Christ. But I thought Ava and Danica were more fleshed out.
Yeah.
And I will take that because I thought Ava, and I've seen her in the studio with Seth Rogen, which is a good show. She is a good actress, and I liked her as like the final girl.
This wasn't just a run-of-the-mill slasher.
No, she did a really good job, and her and Danica, even though I did not love that scene at the end, I thought they had good chemistry, and I thought that she seemed like a person that would really care about her friends and not like what was going on. And she was a perfect like Julie replacement. And so I can't say enough about the young cast. And Jennifer Love Hewitt still looks great, and she's like still a good actress. I just question why
she still got that scream.
Yeah, she does.
She still can scream her head off. Yeah. So I mean, Ray, unfortunately, I mean, I understand why he was there. Just like Danielle said, he was there to be the muscle.
Yeah,
and I get it, but it just makes. He was such a good guy in the first two.
And I love Freddie Prinze Jr. It's just this wasn't it. And it wasn't even really his performance. He didn't have that much to do. It just was kind of like, like I said, it felt shoehorned. Mm-hmm. It felt like, hey, we need this to kind of make it more.
Because it's like, yeah, we understand he lost it. Okay, well, but I mean, he's a really nice, genuine person. You're not telling me he wouldn't move?
Exactly. And a lot of the reviews of this movie is that it was kind of bloated.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, illogical and bloated are the two things I heard. And I totally, the first one, I feel like it does kind of make some things make sense. So I don't really see it as illogical. But it is bloated to where they have a lot of things in there to where it's like, we have the young cast, we have them. Let's add in the podcast, or let's add in all this like lore and shit. Too.
And then when we think we're all done,
let's give even more. Let's set up a couple sequels.
Yeah, they go ahead and they set up a sequel because I don't know if you guys ever saw it, but they I still know what you did last summer. Who had Brandy in it as Carla. She was Jennifer Love Hewitt, Julie. She was her roommate. Yeah. She ends up getting a surprise from Julie, which I think her part was great.
Yeah,
honestly, hats off to Brandy. I think you just added just a little bit of comedy and badassness, and I liked what she did with her role because she's sitting there drinking wine and she's watching it and she's like, "Damn, woman." And like her husband comes out and he's like, "Isn't that your college roommate?" And she's like, "Yeah, someone's trying to kill her again." She's like, "I swear to God, someone's always trying to kill that girl."
Yeah.
And then like she sees Ray on the screen and she's like, "Ray? What the hell?" And then like you hear like her doorbell go off and it's like, "Oh no. Oh yeah. God, leave her out of it." And like Julie shows up and it's like, why the fuck is she here? And then Julie's like, "I hate to do this to you, Carla. I'm so sorry." And then she gives Carla a picture of her and Julie, and it said, and on the back it says, "This isn't over." And Carla looks at her and goes, "Go ahead, D."
What? Oh, fuck! Now why you got to do that to me? I would have listened to you. I was so focused on what you were saying, but it is like who we got to fuck up now, right?
Yeah, she's like, "Who are we fucking up this time?"
Yeah,
and it's
which
like,
is really cool.
That was perfect. Like that should have been the original beginning of the original ending of the.
Yeah, I agree.
Of the reboot. If they were going to do the whole hospital thing and whatnot, I think that should have been like the extra credit scene. I feel like the scene with her going to see Carla was kind of needed. Because if you think about it, not everyone in theaters or even on streaming sit through credits.
Yeah.
A lot of them either A, turn it off, or B, leave the theater. So there's probably at least like 75% of the population that saw this movie and they didn't even know that Brandy was in the end.
Yeah.
Because they laughed.
Yeah. But I just don't know how I feel because it sets up two separate sequels. It sets up this with that, and then with what we said with the line with the two girls, like Stevie's alive.
And I hope they don't do the sequels together. Honestly,
I don't think either of them are going to happen.
You don't think either of them?
No, and that's the thing. Like you resolve the plot. The killer's dead. It was Ray. It was Steve. But obviously Stevie's still alive. So the movie's over, and now we're going to spend the next 15 minutes just like setting up sequels that'll probably never happen.
Yeah.
And that was my only, I did like the scene with Brandy and her, but it was a little like, well, dude, I don't think that's basis enough to do another movie. Like, I don't think it's good. Like, are they going to get letters now as 50-year-old women? Hey, I know what you did 100 summers ago. Like, what are we doing here at this point?
No.
And like Stevie coming back is sort of compelling, but it's also sort of like I don't think you can get much more out of this franchise. Mm-hmm. So the fact that you're going to set up more sequels after it's over, it felt a little dumb.
Yeah.
That's my only thing with that. I'm going to give this movie a rating. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a fat 7.5 out of 10. Because I think it is good. It's above average, and I do recommend it for people. But like I said, there's a little too much going on. I think some of the stuff that's like kind of in there doesn't need to be. You could cut this down and just add more to other things, and I think it's almost a perfect movie. Mm-hmm. This could have easily been 9 if you just focused. The young cast was focused on, and they really were. But all the other stuff just felt like distracting from it.
Yeah, there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, there was way too much going on. Like, I love the podcaster girl. She really didn't need to be there. It was just added to get some more kills because they don't start the big killings.
In history.
Yeah.
They needed her for history to set up the history and the kill.
Yeah. It's kind of like how they shoehorned the sister, Helen's sister in the first one. They literally have said, like, we weren't going to have her be a main thing, but we needed more kills.
Yeah.
So they put her in there. And that's what it felt like Wyatt was there for. And because the main killing spree of the like group of people that did the thing doesn't happen till like the last 30 minutes of the movie. Like, it's weird that like they set up and there is killings and stuff going on, but Milo doesn't die until there's like 40 minutes left in the film. And then that sets up everybody else. And it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. And also I want to point out too, is that this didn't need the mental torture that the fisherman that Ben Willis went through in the first one.
No.
In the very first one. It honestly did a really good job at not needing to lean back on that.
No. And they showed the kills in a cool, creative way that was it's different. I love the way Julie finds all of her friends in a frozen thing. Like, that was one of the like memories of my childhood. Like, oh my God, that's creepy.
Yeah.
But I like the way that they set everybody up on hooks, and I like the presentation and the way that they showed what they were doing in this one too. Did you give it a rating?
I give it a 7.7.
Okay. So we're around the same.
Yeah. Because I understand it's not the best. I mean, honestly, when I first watched it, I was pretty pissed.
Yeah.
I was like, this could have came out several years ago, and it would have been so much better.
Yeah.
And I'm like thinking, and like my number one pet peeve was like, why is Ray the bad guy?
Oh, yeah.
Out of any person you could choose, I would even believe Julie was the bad guy before Ray.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Like, nice
there's no way. I mean, we watched him get his ass kicked in the second one, and he still snuck out of a hospital and tried to get to her to save her.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was kind of unbelievable at first.
Making him the Dewey was the way to go.
Yeah.
Like, I was fine with him being like old and withered and like, hey, I've been through some shit.
Yeah.
But to go then to, hey, I'm behind all this, it's like, it's kind of, it'd be like if Dewey was behind it. It's like, well, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's like, wait, now?
It doesn't make sense.
Now you're going to take revenge?
Yeah.
You should have taken revenge like 15, 20 years ago.
And the motive of like doing it because it's the town history and they like tried to like step over that. It's just kind of stupid.
Yeah, like I want to make sure the town doesn't forget anymore and whatnot. The town already forgot you. Leave.
I think that's what people are talking about with the illogical thing. Because
Yeah.
that's like, you got to jump through some hoops to make that make sense. Especially when Stevie's story makes so much sense. And then you're like, that doesn't make that much sense.
No.
So that's where we're at on it. This was a fun 4th of July extravaganza. And we will see. We're going to come up in the next couple of days with what we want to talk about next week. And we will announce it then.
Yeah, feel free to comment any suggestions or anything. And yeah, and if we do have access to them, we will make sure that we get them out and get them reviewed. And make sure you like and subscribe. And make sure you go over to our TikTok. That's also the StabCast.
Absolutely.
So,
hooty hoo.
Hooty hoo. Y'all have a great night, everybody.
Deuces.